What's up, dudes? Hello, hello, hello. Man, that lick, that little sequence of licks that I did at the very beginning, like the arpeggios, the kind of picking the notes, I practiced it several times right before the live, played it like perfect, note for note. I had that little part planned out. Everything else I just improvised. I was like, okay, this is a cool little sequence. I just came up with it right before the live. Practice it like 5 times, perfect, note for note. I hit the live button, start the live stream. I do some chords at the beginning, right? And then I go to do those arpeggios. And it's like, oh, and I start hitting all these wrong notes. I had to restart it like 3 times. I was like, no, I'm not going to just not play it right. But anyway, that's a good opportunity for you guys to see that everybody messes up and everybody makes mistakes. And what can you do when you make a mistake? Well, you just try again and you just start over, right? You just do the best you can. Anyway, Hello, everybody. Who do we got in here? I need to say hi to everybody. Guitar Bob, Eli, Sienna, Marlon, Searcher for Tone, Jamie Lynn, Dwight, Lester, my good buddy Lester, Tyler, Doroteo, sorry, I almost said it wrong. Retro Puffer, Guitar Minx 1, who else? Mikey, Gary, what's up, Gary? New York Chokehold. Who else? Mr. JW, Michael, Cucumber. Did I already say Cucumber? Dave, Six String Stanger. What else? Who else we got? Who am I missing? Did I miss anybody? I think I got everybody. If I missed your name for some reason, just put it in the chat right now and say, I'm here too. You missed me. Say hi to me. And then I'll say hi to you. But I did my best to catch everybody there. Hey, I like that quote from Eddie Van Halen, Eli. Eddie Van Halen said, when you make a mistake, just smile and do it again. Well, that's what I did, right? What the heck? Dorito, I did not butcher your name. Nacho Cheese Dorito, sorry, but I corrected myself. Doroteo, it was an accident. No offense. Trucker Bob! How can I forget Trucker Bob? I knew I passed over some names, guys. I was trying to scroll through like really quick. Anyway, how's everybody doing halfway through the week? Ray Cron! What's up, dude? Thanks for being here. And if it sounded great, guys, I mean, I can't take all the credit. This guitar from IYV is just absolutely fantastic. Just a phenomenal guitar. That is one of like the best whammy bridges that I have on any of my guitars as far as the amount of tension in the springs. It's like it's just right. It's not too it's not too stiff. It's not too loose. And considering that it's not a double locking trem, it stays in tune pretty well. You probably heard there at the very end, of course, it was that darn G string that went out of tune only a little bit. But anyway. Sienna appreciating my shirt. Yeah, Dunder Mifflin, The Office, one of my favorite all-time shows. Love that show. Hello from South Texas, RDT275. Is that a Star Wars reference? Like almost like R2D2. Almost, but a little bit like mixed around there. Mikey, for the first time. Mikey, welcome, welcome. First, and I hope not the last. We're here every Wednesday, Mikey. Every Wednesday at the same time. Plus, I do a live stream on Sundays for my members. So anybody that's a member, I'm usually doing a member live stream Sundays at 4 o'clock. And guess what, guys? The members know because they were there, but the rest of you don't know. I gave away 3 guitars on Sunday in my live stream to the members. Actually, no, wait. It was 2.5 guitars. 2.5 because it was a 5-string headless bass from IYV. It was one of those Acoustasonic copies, also from IYV. And then the other one was just a guitar body, a Strat body with the pickguard and the pickups, like the seafoam green color. So 2.5 guitars that I gave away on Sunday. So if you guys aren't a member and you're not in the members live stream, you're missing out. Anyway. What did Metal Dude do now? What happened to Metal Dude? Yeah, Cucumber. There's Cucumber. He's the one that got the half guitar, the guitar body. Cucumber, it's on its way. It was dropped off at the UPS store yesterday, so on its way to you. And we got Music and Gear in here. What's up, dude? Okay, Searching for Tone. membership. Shredder level 1. Thanks, Brian. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Alrighty, guys. I got an agenda here tonight. So because I wanted to have things to talk about, and rather than just sitting here going, what do you guys want to talk about? Like guitars and stuff? So like, what about, who here has a guitar? I don't want to be like that. I want to have stuff to talk about. So first up, guys, I posted a picture of this on Monday, and a lot of you guys commented. I posted a picture of Alex Lifeson, if I can speak, and Geddy Lee, because on Monday they announced the Rush reunion. They are getting back together with a new drummer, of course. The last time they played a concert was in 2015, so we're talking 10 years ago. And then Neil Peart, the drummer, he passed away in January 2020. So we're coming up on 6 years since he passed away. And so that's kind of like one of the big stories this week. Guitar Bob, Shredder level 1. Bing, bang, 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 boom. Thank you. Thank you. So what do you guys think about that? A lot of people left comments on the picture. Mostly the consensus was like, hey, cool, this is exciting. I'm happy for them if they're ready to go and play live again. A couple of people were like, you should have just let it, just leave it alone. If you want to go out and play, but don't play as Rush, like start a new band or whatever. Because they did say, after Neil passed away, they said, that's it for Rush. There's not going to be any Rush without Neil. I don't blame them for feeling that way right when he passed away, because naturally that's a pretty normal feeling that I think anybody would have in the moment. But it's been almost 6 years. You know what they say, time heals all wounds. Not that you get over something like that, but I can't blame them for like 6 years later, like, you know what, we want to go out and play our music. We want to go and play the shows. They're musicians. That's what they do. That's what they love. Now, what I will say is I don't think it's any kind of like cash grab or these guys are broke and they need to earn money. Definitely not. This is not Motley Crue, okay? This is not Motley Crue who signed a fake contract and made a big dramatic thing about it, like, this is our retirement tour and we're never going to tour again. And then a few years later, they're back together touring with Def Leppard, which was like a couple of years ago, right? I fully believe that, talking about Motley Crue, that was not because they love each other and they wanted to play together again. It was like, we want the money. We need the money. I can't imagine those guys, except for Mick Mars maybe, but the other three, especially Vince and Tommy, I can't imagine them being very good at like managing their money, and they definitely needed the money, I would imagine. So cash grab in Motley Crue's case, but I think in Rush's case, they deserve to do it. And if they want to go out and honor Neil, I think that's what they said. They're going to do this in honor of Neil. So I don't know what they'll have planned in the show. Like maybe there's going to be in the middle of the show, they'll pull up some video of Neil and somehow they will honor Neil. I don't know anything about the drummer that they have other than it's a woman, and is she from Germany? Definitely, she's European. I haven't watched any videos of her, but I would imagine that if they have tapped her to play in the band in this tour that they're doing, she's got to be phenomenal. You don't go out and play Rush songs on drums, Neil Peart, unless you are phenomenal. So I would imagine she's amazing. Those are big shoes to fill. You're not going to be like, hey, she's just as good as Neil. I don't expect that, but she'll do her best. So it'll be interesting to see videos, once they start playing shows and actual videos of them playing together. And they said that, what did I say? Oh, they were going to add like a couple more musicians. So it won't just be the three of them. There's going to be like, I don't know, 4 or 5 guys. I don't know what they're going to add. Another guitar player, maybe a keyboard player. So it'll be a little bit different than, you know, what they've done in the past, I guess. So interesting, right? Iced coffee, guys. But it's like half coffee, half water. So it's not like super, super caffeinated. All right, some other news, guys. Here's some other news that I just saw today. This might excite some of you. Do we have any Nuno Betancourt fans in the house? Extreme fans. The band Extreme. Nuno Betancourt. I just saw some new news today. I'm not talking about his Nuno brand of guitars. That news, that was like last week or whatever, 2 weeks ago, I can't remember. That's already been reported on. But I just saw something today for the first time that I hadn't heard already in regards to Nuno. Does anybody know something that he has coming up? Anybody know? So, Nuno has announced that he's doing he's calling it Nuno Betancourt's 6-string sanctuary. 6-string sanctuary. Okay. And it's a getaway. It's like a 3 or 4 day getaway in Las Vegas. You go there, and it's at one of the hotels. There's a whole bunch of guests that are going to be there, guitar players, musician people, and they're going to have like workshops and concerts and jam sessions and all kinds of cool stuff. And you know what? Let me read to you from the website so we can get the full description. If I can find it, here it is. Nuno Betancourt's 6-string sanctuary. 4 days and 4 nights of rock and roll, guitars, and more, featuring Steve Vai. Also, Rick Beato, the YouTuber, Eric Gales, Richie Kotzen, Mateus Asato, and Taj Ferrant. I hope I said that right. Also featuring other people. That's not all that there's going to be there. It is happening from January 16th to January 20th, coming up. So 2026, in a few months. And it will be at Hilton Lake, Las Vegas. Now, how much does this cost to go to this event? Let's see here. I'm going to look at the prices. All right. The cheapest one that they have, guys, is $2,519.10. Why tack on the 10 cents? I don't know, but that's what it says. I guess that covers your room, and then, you know, you get into the event, and I think meals are included. I think I read somewhere. But that price, that's the cheapest one. That's if you share a room with somebody. 2 beds. You don't have to share a bed. So you're going to share a room with a complete stranger, I guess. But if you want the cheapest one, that's what they have. But then if you want your own room, a single with 1 bed, it goes up by almost $1,000. $3,419. Goes up by $900. And then it goes up from there. The top package is over $5,000 if you want a suite. I think I'd have to look at all the details, but I don't know if like these different prices, the only difference is you're getting a bigger room and a better room. And every price point includes like all the events at the thing. I don't know. It would be a lot of fun, for sure. It's not something that I can go to because I can't just like get away for 4 days. I can't get away for 4 days and 4 nights like that. And that's a lot of money. I would love to go to that, but I don't think I would be willing to pay even the $2,500 price. I'd probably have to room with Metal Dude, right? And I'm still paying $2,500, and I'd probably have to pay for him too. So I'd end up paying over $5,000 for me and Metal Dude to go. Yeah, it would be fun, but it's just not thousands of dollars worth of fun. Not for me. Do we got Torsten in the house? I saw somebody say, hey, Torsten, T's Guitars, yes. And BCG 5150 Guitars. And anybody else jumped in here that while I was blabbering on about Nuno's 6-string guitar sanctuary? Trying to see what comments I missed. Not seeing a whole lot of anything that I missed. Okay, I think I got it all. Yeah, it sounds like a variation of the Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp. Definitely. Also, Paul Gilbert has done something exactly like that 2 or 3 times in different locations in the United States. Like I think one time it was in California, and another time it was maybe over on the East Coast. Same thing, like at some kind of hotel or resort, and you're there for 3 or 4 days, and you know your ticket covers your hotel and the food, and you got all these guitar players there doing performances and workshops, and a lot of money, just like this one, a lot of money. So Captain Craig also here. What's up, Craig? But yeah, I mean, even if I could get away for the 4 days, which I can't, but if I could, I don't think I wouldn't be willing to pay like $3,500. Plus, you'd end up spending more than that because you got to get there, right? That cost does not include like airfare or gas in your car or whatever. And then when you're there, let's face it, you're gonna spend money on other stuff, right? It's Vegas. Hello, gambling. You might want to go out and get food somewhere else other than at the event. I don't know. So it would be a pricey thing, but you know what? There's going to be people that are willing to spend money on that. So what do I know? Let's see. Do I have any other news? Yes. Do we have any Ace Frehley fans in the house? Any Ace Frehley fans? There's got to be some. Pretty big name in the old guitar world for the past, 40, 50 years. Because there is a little bit of Ace Frehley news. It's been out for like a week or so you might have seen the news already. All right, so Ace Frehley, and I did see this like last week, he has canceled all the dates of his for the rest of 2025. He's canceled his tour for the rest of this year. And apparently, well, all it says is like due to unspecified medical issues. And then looking a little further, guys, I saw something that said he had a minor fall in his studio, resulting in a trip to the hospital. Now, okay, minor fall, trip to the hospital, but he's canceled all his dates for the rest of the year. So was it really that minor? I mean, did he get a concussion? I don't know. It's a little bit worrisome, and hopefully he's going to be okay. Maybe he just needs this time to recover. Maybe he broke a bone or something. It could have been like broke a wrist or sprained a wrist or something where he can't play guitar, and that's why he had to cancel for the rest of the year. So hopefully it's not something like life-threatening. It did say minor injury, so hopefully that's the case. Mr. JW says broken hip. I mean, it could be, he's no spring chicken anymore. All right, see you later, Lester. Thanks for being here. Gene Simmons also just had an accident. I just saw that news today. He was here, Captain Craig has it. I didn't read this, Craig. He says he was allegedly passed out behind the wheel of his car and crashed on Pacific Coast Highway. I saw that there was a car accident in Malibu. I got all that. But I didn't see it. What I read didn't say he was passed out. Maybe they don't want that information coming out. Yeah, some kind of car accident. But seems like he's going to be okay. Anyway, guys, back to Ace Frehley. You guys know that I go to the NAMM show like almost every year. I've gone to the NAMM show so many times, I couldn't even tell you how many times. 20 times, more than that, a lot. And I've seen every single member of KISS at the NAMM show at one point or another, including Ace Frehley. And I mean, supposedly Ace is sober now. Supposedly, I don't know. But this was years ago. Was he in KISS at the time? I think he wasn't. I think this might have been after the reunion and after he was out of KISS again. So I don't know how many years ago that was. But he was there, and I went into the bathroom. I mean, there's bathrooms all over the place because it's a huge convention area. I walk in the bathroom. There's only one other guy in the bathroom. And guess who it was? It was Ace Frehley. And he looked loaded out of his mind. So I walked in, and I was like, you know, I mean, imagine you walk into the bathroom, there's Ace Frehley. And being that I was the only person in the bathroom that I came walking in, you know, he looks at me and I look at him, and I could tell he was, I don't know what he was, not sober. And he looked at me and just kind of, and then he started to walk out, and I was like, hey, Ace, what's up? He didn't say anything. He didn't acknowledge me other than looked at me like, who's this guy? And then he walked. He was able to walk, but he walked out. But I could tell he was not sober at the moment. Okay, guys, now, in honor of playing the IYV for my classic jam, Tyler, I don't know if he washed his hands because he was on his way out when I was on my way in. I am going to play you one of my other IYV jams. And actually, technically, on the guitar, the one that you're about to see, only the neck was from IYV. The body was something else, and I put it together and made a guitar. So why can't I talk? Here comes the classic jam. If I can find the intro, here it is. Got to turn the mic back on. All right, so if you liked that, that's one of my newer songs. It is not on one of my CDs yet because that song was created after I released Dawn of the Shredder. But if you like that, you would definitely like my CDs, Dawn of the Shredder and Speed of Light. So I'm going to put the link in the chat, guys, if I can get back to YouTube here. Guys, right now, my CD packages. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Darn it. How do I back out from that? What in the heck? I just posted the wrong thing. Bald Shredder eBay store. Hold on, guys. I messed up. I went and tried to paste the wrong thing. I got to delete it. Delete. Okay, trying again, guys. Trying to get my eBay link. Hold on. Copy. Here we go. Paste. There it is. Thank you. Hello. All right, guys. Both of those CD packages are $10 off the normal price. They're never going to be any cheaper. And I have less than 10 copies left. Less than 10. And after that, that's it. You will not be able to buy those CDs anymore. So if you just want the 2 CDs, $7.99. 50 tracks. 50. 25 and 25 for $7.99 plus shipping. If you want the other package, it's both the CDs plus the autograph picture plus 2 guitar picks. That's $11.99 plus shipping. Okay, help me sell those out, guys. Thank you for the compliments, guys. I appreciate it. Gary and Guitar Bob. I do my best, definitely. 6-string Stinger is right. I am a robot shredder. I pick up the guitar and go into shred mode. Anyway. Trucker Bob. I don't know if you're still there, Trucker Bob, but good night. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it, dude. Yeah, you know, I do try to mix it up a little bit in my songs. That one had like a slower tempo, you know, not, I don't want, it gets boring if you do every song that's just like, you know, you want to do something a little slower, a little more dramatic. I don't know. Bluesy and Toothy says, hey, I'm headed. Okay. Well, that's good. I'm headed too. I got my head right here. Hopefully we're all headed, Bluesy and Toothy, not just you. I would hate to see somebody come in the chat and be like, hey, I'm decapitated. That would be unfortunate. I'm glad you made it, and I'm glad you're headed. Wayne Sherman. Hello, Wayne. Thanks for being here. So, did you guys see my Leo James video on Monday? It's this one right here. Did you see that? The $119 guitar kit that came with the little amp. That was my video on Monday. Hopefully you guys all watched it. Really good deal for $119. I can't believe how cheap that kit is. The guitar, the gig bag, the little amp, and the little amp sounded, I mean, I don't want to say the amp sounded like amazing, but it sounded better than I thought it would. I thought it sounded better than some other little amps. So anyway, Herb of Fireside Studio. What's up, dude? That's funny, Retro Puffer. That might be true. So, guys, I have another video coming out tomorrow, and in the video, it's about Charvel and Jackson. So, a question that has been bugging me for quite some time about Charvel guitars. And I think I know the answer to the question, and I give my answer in the video tomorrow. So I ask the question, and then I give my answer, but you guys might have different answers because somebody might think of it in a different way. But I think it really is a legitimate question in regards to both Charvel and Jackson, which is owned by Fender, by the way, in case you don't know. So be sure to tune into that tomorrow morning and then tell me in the comments what you think about what I'm talking about in the video. Eli, you got a 20-watt Leo Jaymz amp. Cool. I got a little 10-watt one right there, right behind my bald shredder sign. That's the little Leo Jaymz 10-watt one. It's okay. Mikey getting one of the Leo Jaymz Strat kits. Okay, cool. Bluesy and Toothy. Not only is he headed, but he had COVID all week. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better now. So glad to hear. Doroteo just got the 2 CDs of the photos and the pics. Yes, thank you, Doroteo. I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, Gary, you know, $750, that's a little steep for me to purchase a guitar. Not that I can't afford it, I just don't feel the need to spend that much money on a guitar these days. I wish Henry's would send me a guitar that I could review, but kind of hard for me to justify pulling the trigger like that amount of money, $750, especially when I've got like 50 million guitars already. Raycron, going to bed. All right, dude, thanks for being here. And Tim says he just bought my CDs. Let me see if I got a notification. I did. Thank you, Tim. I just got 2 notifications, so maybe 2 people bought. That's cool. If you did, thank you, everybody. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Let's see. Was there 2? Was there 2? Oh, yeah. There's 2. Or 3. I'm not sure. Anyway, I'll check that later. Awesome, guys. Really, really appreciate that. Guitar Bob. All right. Woohoo! You guys rock. Okay. Guess what we have coming up on Monday? So, Charvel video tomorrow. Don't miss it. Then on Monday, guys, another video from Acklot. Remember the Acklot Les Paul that was 24 frets, but it had the push-pull pot, but they didn't hook the wires up to it? Remember that guitar? Remember that? How silly that was? Like, you got the wires in there, you got the push-pull pot, but they're not connected. Anyway, I'm doing another guitar from that same brand. It's their Strat model. It's their Strat model. It's got a humbucker and 2 single coils, and that package is like the all-in-one package, like the Leo Jaymz. It comes with the little mini amplifier and stuff. So that video will be coming out on Monday. And then on Thursday next week, guys, Thursday, I'm going to be doing, I just decided this today. Thursday next week, I'm doing another Firefly video. But the video Thursday next week is going to be Tiger versus Bone Shredder. Tiger versus Bone Shredder. I want to put them head to head. You know, what do they have that's exactly the same? What's different? Pros and cons. Which one, if I had to choose one, which one do I like better? Basically, it's Lynch versus Lynch. So this will be Thursday next week, for those of you that are interested in that. And don't assume that you know which one I'm going to pick. You might think, oh, you're going to love the Bones one more, of course. That's the one. Or you might think, no, he's going to love the Tiger one more, for whatever reason. You just don't know. Maybe I haven't even decided yet. Maybe I'll decide when I make the video. Because really, guys, it's neck and neck. It's pretty close. Like, I really like them both a lot. So, But I will choose one. I will choose one. One will win in that video. We'll see. That's Thursday next week. Charvel tomorrow. Acklot on Monday. What else is up, guys? You know what we need to do? Ridiculous offers of the week. Thank you, Jamie. Jamie says, my CDs are really awesome. I appreciate that, Jamie. Much appreciated. Dave says he bets I'm going to like the Firefly. That's a good bet, Dave. Yeah, I'm probably going to like the Firefly. Guess what, guys? They're both Fireflies. Yeah. Alrighty, so ridiculous offers of the week. Let me pull it up and then I'll do the intro. Let me pull it up and then I'll do the intro. I gotta go into my spam folder for this one. It didn't start off. Oh no, it's there. I thought I deleted it, but no, it's there. Alrighty. This is an interesting one. Okay. Where is it? Here we go.
The Bald Shredder presents Ridiculous Offers of the Week.
Okay, so got this email 2 days ago. It says, greetings. I hope you're having a great day. I recently came across your channel, The Bald Shredder, and was struck by how well your music connects with its audience and the high quality of your content. I mean, yeah. I am currently assisting with a project together with a leading international brand, and we are looking to collaborate with a small number of artists. Your channel appears to resonate with the goals of this initiative. Should this be of interest to you, I would be glad to provide more information. Kind regards, and there's a name. Now, what's interesting about this email, guys, there's literally no name of a company in the email. So, what's the company? What's the product? Even the email address, I always look at the email address, it's some generic email address, which, okay, already, woo, red lights going off, flags, this can't be legit. So I responded, there's no harm in replying to an email. You're not going to get hacked or something just because you reply. And all I said was, what is the brand and product? That's all I said. And then she replied back, thanks for your interest. This is a private collaboration campaign in partnership with Sony. Well, now I'm excited. To answer your question and provide all the details, Sony's internal team has prepared a short, unlisted video that explains the campaign and the products involved. You can watch it here, and then there's a link to a YouTube video, I think. The video explains everything you need to know to proceed. Once you've had a chance to watch, feel free to reply with any questions. I'm happy to help. Kind regards. Now, guys, Wayne, thank you, Wayne. Hallelujah. Wayne ordered the CDs. You rock, Wayne. Thank you so much. I did not click on the YouTube video. But here's the annoying part. When I first got this email, I saw it on my phone. Okay, I wasn't sitting in front of my computer. I got the notification and there's an email. I read it. It was not in the spam folder. It was in the regular inbox. There was no warning about be careful, this might be spam or whatever. And I debated about clicking on the link just out of curiosity, only because it says it's a YouTube video. It says youtube.com/ and then it's got a bunch of random stuff that would take you to the video. I thought, well, it's youtube.com. How could that be something? But you never know. So I didn't click on it. I mean, I thought about it, and then I was like, you know what? This obviously is a scam. Sony, come on. Sony contacting me. Sony wants to collaborate with little old me. I don't think so. Then later, guys, when I was in front of my computer, I went back to my email, and then once I looked at it on my computer, there's the big red banner, you know, be careful, this type of email has been shown to try to get people's information or something like that. And now when I'm looking at it, now, it didn't say this on my phone at first, but now, same thing. Be careful with this message. Because you reported this message as spam from your inbox. Okay. Anyway, so it didn't give me the same warning on my phone as it gave me on my computer. Come on, Gmail. So, obviously, a scam. They're going to try to get you to click on something, try to steal your information, blah, blah, blah. We know all about that. You got to get up pretty early in the morning to fool the bald shredder, you know. So anyway, what's going on in the chat? I'm missing some stuff here. The dude, you did the same Temu trick with the telebody. Yeah, you put it in your cart, you let it sit there, and then when you go back to it, like a couple days later, they offer it to you cheaper, right? It totally works. Use Metal Dude's computer. If he had one, Jamie, you think Metal Dude has a computer? And if he does, it's probably like a Commodore 64 that doesn't work. Hey, I'm going to agree with what Guitar Bob says right there. That when you have a guitar that you built yourself and you put together yourself, it's a lot more special and meaningful, right? Even if it's just like really, really cheap and not anything like spectacular, but knowing that you made it, that you connected all the parts, you know, I don't mean you cut the body, but you get a body, you get a neck, you get all the parts, you paint it or you stain it, whatever, and you slap it together and you do the setup on the bridge and stuff, and you're like, hey, I did that. And it's just, it's a good feeling. I love my custom builds, even though other people might not love them, but I do because I made it, right? It can be very addicting to, like, you know, building guitars and putting them together because it's a lot of fun. Go to the library and use their computer. Yeah, I could do that, but it's obviously a scam, you know. If somebody's going to email me about a collab from Sony, they would have a legitimate like email address. Here's another thing I did. Sorry, I forgot to say this. So when you got to click the little arrow that shows the complete email, and it shows you, you know, the name at and then whatever, like gmail.com, whatever. So this was something I'd never seen before. I copied it, put it into Google and searched it. And of course, right away, it says that email address type of thing is associated with people trying to steal your information, basically scams. So I knew it, but I confirmed it. And that person never emailed me back after that. You know, I never got back to her or him or whoever it was. They probably send out like thousands of those. And they just, you know, you send out 1,000 of those and it's like, okay, 1 or 2 people fall for it. It's like, okay. But not this guy. Not today. Oh my gosh, Jamie just put her email in the chat. Now she's going to get all kinds of not safe for work emails. Jamie, I can't believe you did that. People are going to be sending you pictures. I don't want to say what kind of pictures, but well, you really put your foot in it now, because that's definitely a legitimate email. TGFVDURDXVBNNHVV.com. I've totally heard of that before. Right, guys? Anyway. Anything else on my list? Anything else on my list? I think I've covered it all. Oh, nope. Nope. One last thing. Retro Puffer. How's Buddy doing? He's doing great. As ornery as ever, but yeah, he's doing fantastic. I gotta talk about what I watched on Netflix last week. I already talked about it in the members live on Sunday, so they already heard me go on and on about it, but the rest of you didn't hear it. Over the weekend, I watched the new season of the show Monster. This is the 3rd season, and this one is Monster, the Ed Gein story. Like serial killer. Back in the 1950s. It's only confirmed that he killed 2 people, or at least he only admitted to killing 2 people, but he dug up dead bodies and had body parts in his house and used the skin to make masks and stuff. He's the guy that was the inspiration for the movie Psycho, and then Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and finally Silence of the Lambs. He was the inspiration for all 3 of those movies. And he ended up in a mental hospital. He did not stand trial, or maybe he did go to trial. I can't remember, but he never went to prison, didn't get the death penalty or anything like that by reason of insanity. He was a schizophrenic, and he ended up dying in the mental hospital from lung cancer in like 1987 or something like that. So great show. Charlie, what's his name? Last name starts with an H, from Sons of Anarchy. He played the main character, Ed Gein. And wow, I could see him totally getting like a Golden Globe nomination for Best Actor because he was fantastic in that. Mr. JW, I just saw your comment. At least it didn't start out, "Dear the Bald Shredder." Yeah, that's how they usually start, right? Isn't that funny? Yeah, that one did not. I think that one was just like a generic one, right? They don't even bother putting your name in there. It's just like copy, just type it one time and then just paste it into like 1,000 emails to anybody and everybody. Tyler Durden, there you go. Hoonin. How do you say that? Is it Hoonin or Hunnin? I don't know how to say his last name the right way. I mean, I've read it a bunch of times. Hunan? Guitar Bob, let's see. I put red and yellow RIT dye and blended with fine sandpaper. Cool. Very cool. Can you see like both the reds and the yellow? Or did it just end up making it like a lighter red? How did that work? Like, do you have parts where it's more yellow and more red, or is it like all blended into one color? Because I've thought about like getting one of those, you know, cheap bodies, like I've done several times, and trying to do like a burst, you know, like a sunburst, like the kind of like the orange, like this one right here, but with the stains, not paint. Like stain, and then staining it darker on the edges, and I don't know how successful I'd be at doing that though. Shred and Shine, what's up, dude? Hunnum, pronounced Hunnum. I'm probably still saying it wrong. Anyway, just gonna call him Charlie. Rod, here's Rod. Hey guys. Rod was one of the guys on Sunday that got one of the guitars that I gave away. Yep, it was Rod, and then Seabass. Seabass, who's usually in here. Seabass got the other one. Rod, your guitar is on the way. I dropped it off at UPS yesterday. It's on the way. A museum in Savannah, Georgia. That sounds interesting. You know what? If I lived in the area, I would totally visit that out of just like morbid curiosity. You're welcome, Rod. I hope you enjoy it. Oh, guys, any other big news? Better late than never. You said it, Shred and Shine. Seabass said he hopes to be here next week. Yeah. Yep. So, I think I've said all the words, guys. I've literally said every word that can be said. There are no words left to be said. I've ran out of things to say. You know what? Here's one thing I can tell you that I'm sure you guys are dying to know. I think coming up on this weekend on Netflix, I'm going to watch the new Karate Kid movie. It's now on Netflix. The one that has both Ralph Macchio and Jackie Chan. That one, the newest one. Not made for TV movie. I'm not talking about Cobra Kai. I'm talking about the latest Karate Kid movie that just came out like a few months ago. It's now on Netflix. I'll probably watch that on the weekend. I know you guys are dying to know that. Now you know. Just recap what I talked about. Okay, Shred and Shine, here's your recap. Rush is reuniting for a tour. Nuno Betancourt is doing the 6-String Sanctuary 4 days in Las Vegas. You can go if you want to pay. On Monday, I did the Leo James Beginner Guitar Kit. There it is. I got a Charvel video coming out tomorrow. I got an Acklot Strat video coming Monday. Ace Frehley canceled the rest of his tour for the rest of the year because he fell down. I watched Monster, the Ed Gein story on Netflix. I had a ridiculous offer from Sony, but it wasn't really Sony. And my CDs are on sale on my eBay store. Boom. Recapped. That's it. That was the whole thing. All right, guys. So that pretty much wrapped it up. And I want to thank you guys once again for being here. I appreciate it. Leo James said the Floyd version is coming out in a couple of weeks. I'll believe it when I see it, okay? Because I've heard from him so many times it's going to come out this month or then, and then it doesn't. So I'll believe it when I see it. Okay, guys, so enjoy the rest of your week. And don't forget, Charvel video tomorrow. Don't miss it. I'm going to do my countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Later.